What if I told you you could get more done in less time with less effort while maximizing your output, 10xing your productivity, and quadrupling your attractiveness to the opposite sex? And what if I told you you could do it all without the use of drugs, boring programs, or any hard work? Our guest today will give you the answers. You do not want to miss this. Plus, a few mastermind tips from yours truly on how to jumpstart your authority game fast. Plus, your social media action. Plus, the program is hosted by me. Mic drop. All this and more in today's episode. Hit it, James.
The Brad Johnson Show. 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Blast off. Welcome to the Brad Johnson Show.
I'm Brad Johnson, and I'm turning losers like you into winners like me.
The Brad Johnson Show with your host, Brad Johnson.
Get ready to start winning.
And now your host, Brad Johnson.
Hey, I'm your host, Brad Johnson. Welcome to the show. Here, as always, is with me, the assistant to the host, James Kirkland.
I'm James Kirkland.
Welcome to the Brad Johnson Show, where we turn losers like you into winners like me. You may notice that I say that all the time, because that's our tagline. That is what we use to tag. It's the line that we use to tag the show. We're so glad to have you here, pouring my voice into your brain cavity. So, James, how was your week?
My week was pretty good. Honestly, I got a lot done.
That's mine was fantastic. I was doing the whole cold shower thing that I was talking about, and bam, an idea hit me. Dude, I'm telling you, that is not a strange thing, because I literally have amazing money-making ideas like multiple times a minute. It's crazy. If there were more of me, we'd all be rich. Like, it's awesome. Anyway, I had this fantastic idea. The listeners might know about this, but you've been to my house, you know, I'm really into furniture, as it was meant to be.
Really? Real
furniture. I don't just have some couch or something from Craigslist. I mean, I'm not like a barbarian. This furniture is done. This is furniture done right. Okay?
Is that why you won't let me sit on any of your chairs?
Oh, shut up. Anyway, I realize that I'm not alone. There are others who feel the same way that I do about furniture. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, I want you to think about how you feel when you're standing. Okay? Just think about that. When you're standing, your butt, your calves, there's no pressure against them, right? You know, as you're standing there, there's just maybe your clothes, and it's basically like you're floating. You can't recreate that feeling when you sit down, can you? No, because you're putting pressure on those areas. Okay?
Which is, let me ask, are skinny jeans a good answer to that problem?
No, that kind of that kind of goes against what I'm saying here. I want you to think of like standing there naked, okay? And there's no pressure. But you can't recreate that because when you sit down, you're putting pressure on those areas. So this is the kind of furniture I'm talking about. Most people have no clue. I'm talking like Fendi Casa, Henredon, Boca de Lobo, whatever chair or couch you've ever sat on, forget that, okay? This kind of furniture will literally change your life. Like you're floating. Like there's no pressure there at all. It's going to give you that floating feeling that I was talking about, okay? So the idea I'm toying with is this, a podcast for high-end furniture geeks like me, okay? I think this has some potential. I'm still brainstorming on names, etc. But if that's something you dig, I'd love to hear from you. If I hear enough clamor, you know, who knows? I'm not promising anything, okay? You know, it's just may happen, may not. But I'm a busy guy. But this is something I'm passionate about. I think people need to experience real furniture again. The industrialization of furniture, it's a crime. It's a real crime. And a shame. And a crying shame. And a crying crime shame. That's what I'm saying, okay? But, like I always say, do your passion or your passion will do you in. But the saying doesn't stop there. It continues, and making money at it, or it's pointless. So keep that in mind, okay? All right, so we're going to get into helping you salvage the wreckage that is your life through my tried and true answers that are guaranteed to change your life, maybe even for the better. But before we get to your burning questions or our amazing interview, it's time for a word from our sponsor.
Are you an entrepreneur, digital nomad, kind of make your own way in the world sort of person? Do you love working from anywhere with no boss breathing down your neck and getting all up in your business? If the answer is yes, chances are you've run into a serious problem along the way. This problem has created a question: why can't I work in my pool? After all, I'm an entrepreneur.
Yes, you are.
After all, I'm an entrepreneur. I have the ability to work anywhere I want, except in my pool. How does that make any sense? Introducing Aquadesk, The desk manufacturer who decided to ask why. Why work so hard to get your own pool and then not be able to work inside of your pool or hot tub? Now Aquadesk is answering those piercing questions with their floating Work Zone 3000, the only floating desk designed specifically for entrepreneurs with pools. Imagine making money, winning with no limits in the comfort of your own pool. Break your chains, release your inner fish, and be free with the Floating Work Zone 3000, the latest innovation in modern creative entrepreneurial workspaces. Go to bradjohnsonshow.website/float to experience what your life is missing.
Not legal in all 50 states. Always wear personal flotation equipment while operating your Aquadesk. Aquadesk holds no responsibility for water damage office equipment, including but not limited to laptops, tablets, cell phones, mobile phones, landlines, printers, copiers, fax machines, shredders, pagers, Xerox machines, or Blackberries. Aquadesk makes no claim or guarantee to the seaworthiness of their products. Designed for pool use only. Use in rough waters like hot tubs, lakes, or oceans at your own risk. This product is not a safety flotation device and should not be used for rescue or emergency purposes.
All right, awesome. People always ask me, I mean, like big time people always ask me. They're like, Brad, seriously, Brad, we know you're handsome, charming, and impossible not to like, but how? Brad, how? How do you get all these amazing sponsors without hardly even trying? And you know what I tell them? I tell them, you have your answer. All right, so this podcast is all about helping you because, like I've said a million times, my life is perfect, and I want to help you because your life isn't. So, James, we got some questions from some listeners, don't we?
Yeah, we sure do.
Yeah. All right, let's get into those. Let's fix these people's lives.
All right, here we go. Question 1. Dear Brad, I have a certification in physical fitness for those 300 pounds and over. I've gone to 7 years of school, plus I've spent thousands of dollars on courses, seminars, and such, but I have no real experience or customers. How do I get started? Signed, ready to roll.
Okay, ready to roll. I gotta say, I love the nicheness, okay? 300 pounds and over, like, that's niche. Okay,
That's a big niche.
It is, but it's actually small at the same time. It's amazing. I love it. It's so ironic,
Yeah,
That's
really.
that's what the kids are talking about these days. It's ironic. Okay, so I'd say ready to roll. You've already started. Okay, the thousands of dollars on courses, seminars, and such. You were doing the right thing.
You know what I think he's missing there? Conferences. He has this whole list, and
Dude,
the one thing he leaves out.
You read my face again. That was where I was going. Conferences. Okay, if there's not a physical fitness conference for people 300 pounds and over, then, like we've talked about before, you've got even more of a niche right there. Okay,
yeah.
Conferences for that.
Start it.
Okay?
Start it yourself.
But you're already getting a good start with the courses, seminars, and such. I didn't have to do any courses or anything like that when I was getting started as an entrepreneur because I already knew everything that I needed to know.
Well, and you made all your own, too.
Exactly. Yeah.
Telling people what you were learning.
Exactly.
And teaching them.
Just what I already knew innately because this is like ninja for me, okay? I don't even have to think about it. So, as far as how to get started, like, you want your first customer, okay? We all want that, but don't rush it, okay? You may not be ready yet, Padawan, okay? You catch that reference there? Yeah.
Star Trek.
That was slick. All right, so I'd say you got a good start. Go to the conference, keep learning things. The more money you put into yourself, the more money you'll get back from other people.
Yeah, well, just keep your eyes open. Like, finding your first client is not going to be that hard. They're pretty easy to see.
That's a very good point. Next question.
Dear Brad, thanks for the show and all you do to help me become more of a winner. I was such a loser before, but thanks to your course, my life is finally getting on track. My question for you is, how do I build an audience and authority fast? As a busy entrepreneur, I don't really have time to wait. This needs to happen now. Any advice would be appreciated. Signed, Kyle G.
Okay, I appreciate the honesty there, Kyle. All right, I like that you're not afraid to admit that you want the authority now. That's the first step. I think so many people miss this. You have to want it. You have to need it. You have to desire it with everything that is in you. There has to be a passion that is burning so bright within you that you have to have it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay, Kyle. You want the authority and the audience fast. The best way to do that? Money. You buy that audience, okay? I'm talking giving away iPads. I'm talking about giving away TVs. I don't care if it's like a 67 VW Bug. Like, that's classic. You give something away that people want, and basically, I mean, that's a great way to get friends, too. This is a great way to build an audience. And as you do it, people see like, okay, this guy's giving away a 4K TV, like 60-inch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's no way this guy's not an authority. Like,
Every time I do that, it always draws a crowd.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So when you give stuff away and like just throw money at it, you're going to build an audience, and they're going to assume that you're an authority. Because who has the money to give away a TV if they're not an authority? Yeah?
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
see where I'm going with that.
And making them jealous. Make
Oh,
people
yeah.
envious of
Yeah.
you. And just create that drive.
Yeah, and
passion.
that was really what I was getting to on the other side of things. So as far as the audience and authority, when you're just starting on social media, it's, you know, people talk about authenticity and stuff like that. Forget it. Throw it out the window. Nobody needs that stuff. Everybody's being authentic today.
Nobody wants to see that.
The only way to stand out in the crowd now is to not be authentic. Okay? Because everybody, okay, the secret sauce is out. Like, everybody knows how to make the Coca-Cola, all right? So the only way to stand out is to be inauthentic. Okay?
Make your own Coke recipe.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So social media there, you know, stand out by being inauthentic. And people will notice. People will notice. Okay? All right, let's get some rapid fire questions. I'm going to answer these fast and hard and make people believe that they have the power. Let's do it.
All right. Here comes the question Gatling gun.
There we go.
Brad, seriously, how do you stay so energetic all the time?
You know, that is a great question. It's actually my chef. He has this mixture that I don't even know what's in it. Okay, he won't tell me what's in it, but it works. I'm telling you. I don't even think it's legal, but it is fantastic. You wouldn't know by tasting it, but it does something. Okay, I like don't sleep at all. Like it's amazing. I feel great. So I would say get in touch with him. You probably can't afford him, and he's my chef. So yeah, I guess nobody else can have the kind of energy that I can. That's one of my competitive advantages, really. And
there you go.
I just can't give that up.
Another
Okay?
reason to buy the course.
Exactly.
Next, what's the best tool for managing your time?
My brain. Yes. Nice question.
That's all you need.
I mean, they don't have it. Another competitive advantage. So
Get the course.
yeah, that might help because some of my brain is in that course. That's how it worked. That's how I built that course, was some of my brain. So the most effective tool for managing your time in the course. Get it. Next question.
Next, if you have too many things going on, what's the first thing you cut?
Oh man, this is a good one. I was gonna say my hair. Okay, but then
Get some headspace.
yeah, just it lightens you up. It just, your brain doesn't have so much on it. You know.
What about practicing yoga and medication?
Yeah, well, as far as things that I would cut, though, I'd say paying bills. That's a huge one. Like, if you don't pay bills anymore, then, I mean, you have so much more time. And money.
And wealth.
Exactly. Like, you're just rolling in it. So, if you're too busy right now, I would say do that. Just stop paying your bills. You'd be amazed at what will happen if you do that. All right, so thank you again for sending in your questions. You guys, you know, this part of the show, it would be amazing if it was just me talking, but since I can answer some of your specific questions, it's also amazing. All right, so today I'm super excited. Super, super excited. We have somebody on the show who actually relates a lot to what the questions that I just answered from you guys. This man, I'm telling you, this guy, if you've never heard of him before, that's because he's gotten so many things done in the time that since you've heard about him or haven't heard about him that like you didn't even realize he existed. Like, he's basically in the future. He gets stuff done so fast. I'm talking productivity expert, getting things done guru, get rid of time wasters and explode your productivity. This guy has written a book. It is called Less, spelled with one S, because he has saved even time on the naming of his book. I mean, this is incredible. You guys are going to get so much out of this. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome my guest, my friend, my buddy, Matthew Torrance. How you doing, Matthew?
Oh, Brad, it's my pleasure to be on the show.
Ah, yeah, the bow tie.
I've been looking forward to this for the past 10 minutes. We started a little bit late, but that's okay. We'll just keep going.
Yeah, we'll move forward here. Matthew, it's so great to have you on the show. I am all about saving time and being
So
more
am I, and I think that's a really good way to start out our conversation. So what's your first question?
Well, that's what I was getting to. It's called a nice lead-in. That's kind of what we talk about here in the biz. So the lead-in, the first question is, what got you started on this road to productivity, efficiency?
So actually, really it started with my getting my Excel certification, because that really, it made me recognize that everything needs to be put in a box, and you should be able to compress your life into one place inside of a spreadsheet. And if you can't do that, you have too much going on in your life. You need to cut things out and cut people out of your life if necessary.
Okay, I like it. You know, that is a huge point that I think most people don't realize, that life is the box, and you have to put things in it or take things out as you want.
And people often say think outside of the box, but I prefer to live inside of a box that I control, because it allows me to do things my way, and I don't get other people in the way of my thought processes and what I'm trying to accomplish.
Yes. All right. So one of the things that was really striking in your book was the title. How did you come up with that? And how long did it take you?
I took as long as it took me to type it out in the computer into my spreadsheet. That's as long as it took me, like three keystrokes, so probably 0.02 seconds, I believe.
Nice. That is fast. When I wrote my book, it may have taken me a little bit longer, but not much, because we're productivity bros on that sort of thing. That's
well, the
jam.
speed that mine reached a New York Times bestseller was probably a little bit faster. It's because of the title and the rapidity that it was produced.
So people can read it faster.
Exactly. You have to speed read it, otherwise it doesn't make any sense.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
There's actually just one word on each page, and you flip through it like a flip book.
Wow. Man.
I actually designed it inside of a spreadsheet.
Wow. I was going to ask about your writing process. I know there's a lot of entrepreneurs out there who feel like they have, like this book inside them. And, sometimes it gives you a stomachache, because having a book inside of you is not how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to just vomit it out, get it out into the world so people can see it. Okay.
Well, for me, it's more of a stream of consciousness. As I'm writing a book, it just it rolls off the tongue, and I just type it out. I sit down in one sitting and write the entire book all at one time, even though it's 500 pages. I sat down and wrote the entire thing in one sitting.
That sounds a bit to me like batching, okay? I'm assuming that's a process that you're familiar with.
No, I just use one batch of anything. Everything I do comes in one batch.
One batch, okay. All right, that is fantastic. So the book, when it came out, it was making waves, which is awesome, because
it made one wave, and it was a tidal wave, and it killed everyone in its path. But you know what I'm saying? It basically was it impacted the entire world in one film.
The whole it totally revolutionized productivity and efficiency in that whole world. So
absolutely, most people didn't even finish the book. They became so productive that they put it down and did the rest of the work.
Wow, that's fantastic. So I want to get into some practicals.
Absolutely. Here's the first one. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. The first one is learning to say no.
Oh, okay.
And that's a hard one, because a lot of people will try to force you to do things you don't want to, and they'll say things like, "Oh, why do you keep pushing me out of your life? And why do you hate me? And like you never listen to me, and you're always talking over me, and you don't listen to what I'm saying. And why would you want to break up with me and move out and like kick me out of my own house? And these things are very common complaints to hear, but it's just people's static getting in the way of your productivity. You have to say no.
Okay. So when I'm trying to get something done and somebody says something else, I just say no.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes. You just
I love that. I love that. Okay, so number one is say no. All right, I got that. Okay, I can say no. I can do that. What's another one? I want to get real practical here, really nitty gritty.
All right, so the second one will be learning to cut your blinking and breathing in half. So whenever you're doing a sentence or talking to someone or looking at them, whatever, only blink half as many times as you normally do, and it speeds things up.
Wow.
And only take breaths every so often whenever you need to.
So you see things more, and you're able to say more things because you're not breathing.
Exactly. That was the first breath I've taken since I've started this podcast.
That is amazing. Wow. That's amazing. Okay, so what about mealtime? Okay, that is a huge time waster. I feel like so many people spend so much time eating, and I like food just as much as the next guy. I've got my own personal chef, and I'm not bragging or anything, but he makes amazing, world class, professional style cuisine all the time.
Well, that's the problem. Is it takes too long.
Exactly.
Sauteing vegetables and all these sorts of things. No.
Yeah,
just
that's why you have a
throw that
chef.
out. Say no to well prepared meals and things like that.
Okay.
What you're going to do is you're going to get a blender, and you're just going to throw all of your food in one place, blend it all up, freeze it, keep it in your freezer, have 10 freezers, store it for an entire year. Those types of things. Just simple methods
and that to me sounds like
food.
The sort of thing that you could outsource. You could outsource somebody like preparing all that and freezing it all for you.
Yes.
And then you save even more time. So the title of that chapter, if I remember right, about the I think I saw it on your social media or something, was squishing your food time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
And-
I love that because like who has time to chew?
Right, and the people talk about the chewing 20 times every time you take a bite and that type of thing. That it really doesn't fit in my spreadsheet. So I recommend 10 bites or 10 bites to finish an entire meal, not 10 bites per bite.
Okay, so
don't chew it 10
and
times.
And
is
the
what I'm trying to
other
say.
the other key on that, if I remember right from what I saw there, was that you were saying that you can cut your time spent on meals in by 2/3. You can cut that.
Yes, absolutely.
You can cut that to 1/3
Yes.
of what it would have been.
One meal per
Okay,
day is
just
sufficient.
one meal.
You only
Okay.
need one.
Okay,
Yes,
you just
yeah.
cram it all in right there.
Yes,
Okay.
it's more efficient that way.
Yeah,
Just dump it all in.
definitely.
And force it in until
I mean, that makes so much sense. That
Absolutely.
makes so much
Of course
sense.
it
All
does.
right, let's get another tip or two for these entrepreneurs out there who have messed up lives.
All right, the next one would be talking as fast as possible,
Hmm.
and sometimes it may reduce your accuracy, but it's more efficient because you get more words out and
Yeah.
you get through things more quickly.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So at least go for at least 500 words per minute, per second, either one.
Okay.
Just keep working at it.
500.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Do you have a good way of measuring that? Do you just count like as you're talking?
No, you just watch the expression of the person that's listening to you, and if they start to look
as it kind of
confused,
gets
then
a little more blank.
yeah, so
Okay.
you have to listen harder and
Okay.
trying to figure out what you're trying to
Nice.
say. Then that's
So the more
makes it more
blank,
effective,
the better.
yes.
Okay, awesome. I love it. I love it. This is fantastic. Okay, do you have anything else for us?
All right, the last one I'm going to give you, Brad, is the tip to listen to music
Ah, yes. This is so
on
relaxing.
twice as fast as the normal speed.
Oh,
So what you're going to do is you're going to find the fastest music you can find,
Okay.
and then you're going to double the speed.
okay. So we're talking
And then
like
you're
Flight
going
of
to
the
double it
Bumblebee.
again. Exactly.
Whoa. All right.
Yes, you want to get it as fast as
Okay.
possible
That
because
makes so
you
much
work
sense.
in pace with the music that
Exactly.
you listen to, and so
Yeah.
if you speed it up even more,
Okay.
that will help.
That is fantastic. Okay, so with your world as a productivity expert, what annoys you the most about people around you who are not being productive?
People that don't finish their sentences and wrap things up quickly.
All right, so I had one other question that I wanted
Actually,
to.
I according to my spreadsheet, I need to get going. So thank you so much for having me on the interview, and I'll talk to you next time. And have a great day. Bye.
Okay, all right. All right, cool. Man, I feel more productive already. that was great. What a great guest, and what great interviewing by me. I mean, I really think I pulled some golden nuggets out of his brain just for you guys. So drop them right on your plate there, but make sure to eat them only once during the day, so you save time. All right, it's time now for the sound of my social footprint. This is where I read what you guys had to say about what I had to say, and say what I had to say about that. All right, James. So we got a lot of action on the social medias.
We really did.
Wow.
The internet is basically being flooded by the traffic.
Hashtag Brad Johnson Show.
Hashtag Brad Flood.
Oh yeah, that sounds weird. All right, so what do we got? Let's go through some of our social media interactions.
All right, the first tweet comes from @BrittanyCrystal, who says, "No amount of flattery creates additional time in a day, especially when the biggest names get a crazy amount of flattery thrown their way.
Okay.
You need additional value add to justify them saying yes."
Okay. So I know this, Brittany. This was from a little conversation we had back and forth, on one of my super influential posts, and she was just like, how do you get big names? And I was like, well, I am one, so let me tell you. I was like, flattery, it works every time, okay? And this was her response. She was like, no flattery, and I'm like, okay, you don't know what you're talking about, okay? I respectfully disagree. Okay, love you, Britt, but no, nobody needs that kind of value. Flattery is value. Okay, you have no self-esteem. As a super high. You look at any of the big entrepreneurs out there. I bet you anything they cry themselves to sleep at night. It's pathetic and sad. So flattery is the only way that they get any kind of good feeling. So by not flattering them, you're stealing that from them, and that's not kind.
That's terrible.
Not okay.
I think the most important part of that is recognizing that the word flat is right in that word.
Exactly.
All right, the next tweet comes from Zigun Aaron, who says, "Huh?"
Okay. Yeah.
Great. That was one of the top tweets of the week.
Well, okay, so I know what I think I remember that one. I mean, there's been so many of them. It's hard to remember where they all came from, but I think that was just one of those genius posts that I put out there. And I think we just need to realize that sometimes genius is misunderstood. Okay,
Just too much to absorb.
Yeah, I mean, you ask any of like Gandhi or Martin Luther King Jr. or Einstein or Gary Vaynerchuk, any of the great entrepreneurs of history, and they will tell you genius is often misunderstood. So I experience this every day. It's just kind of the cross that I have to bear. Okay, so
that means you're doing something right.
Exactly.
I mean, honestly, it really should be encouragement.
All right, what's the next tweet?
The next tweet comes from @Roberto Blake, who says, "Flattery is meaningless to me. My life experiences have been built on distrusting it. Figure out what does matter to me and tap into that when you want to get a yes from me. That requires observation skills. Too many people want general shortcuts like flattery."
Okay, so this was on that same thread, okay, about the whole, how do you get big yes?
Controversial.
Okay, so, and I think I replied to Roberto, hey buddy, I hope you're listening. I hope you hear this, because flattery shouldn't be meaningless to you, okay? People are just trying to tell you that you're a good guy. And the fact that you distrust that tells me that you need some love, okay? Brother, I'm sending you love vibes right now. Can you feel them vibrating? Here they come. There you go, okay? You are a good person, and people like you, and there's okay, that's flattery right there. But you needed it.
Yeah.
I can tell. Don't distrust it, Roberto. Trust it. Trust it.
And I think the thing is, flattery is actually a way of saying, hey, you have something I want. You can give me value, and I want that from you.
Yeah, and so I'm going to give you some verbal value.
Exactly,
Yeah.
in exchange for monetary value.
And it's like a flat, like you said, the flat. It's
a flat fee.
Exactly.
That's really what it is.
Yeah. And too many people want general shortcuts like flattery. Roberto, I disagree, okay? Shortcuts are awesome, and everybody should want them, and everybody should have them, okay? Because shortcuts are awesome. Okay, what's the next one?
@JonesLizzie8Jones says, "Genius for sure."
I'm sure that was just like a comment on the podcast, so thanks for that. That's what we do.
@Brian Doyle says, "Love the page, let's connect sometime."
Brian, let's do it, okay? I'm too busy for coffee, but I could like one of your tweets sometime.
@EBSpreneurship says, "Mach weiter so."
Yeah.
Totally.
Uh-huh.
Right on, man.
Love to hear from our international audience. Since I speak German, I don't want to, I don't want, most of the audience doesn't, so I don't want to, speak right now and,
Oh, Tannenbaum to you too, sir.
Exactly. All right. So, I have imparted some wisdom to you guys today, and it's your duty now to go out and use that, okay? Because I'm sacrificing some of my time here, and my time is so valuable that if you don't use it, you're spitting on my grave, basically, okay? And I don't want that to happen. So what I want to do is to kind of just let your brain process all this. I'm going to give you a quote from a fellow entrepreneur. His name is Merlin, and this is a quote from him. Like I say most of the times with the quote of the day, this is to just kind of take it down a notch, because you've been getting stuff that's way up here and just amazing, and then this takes it down a notch for you. Kind of let your brain adjust, okay? Who knoweth not where to go, with a boundary can't ever forsake. It's deep. It's impactful.
I love it.
That's your quote for the day. Okay, people, thank you so much for listening. We love you guys. Keep sending in your questions, keep tweeting. And remember, the best way to send a question is through an iTunes review. Because if you put that on there, we're sure to see it. We'll never miss an iTunes review. So make sure you go to iTunes and review the podcast, and that's the best way to get in touch with us. So thank you so much. And thank me. We really do. Because I've just given you all this. Now go and do and be a winner.
Thanks for listening to The Brad Johnson Show, where every episode we bring you tips, tricks, interviews, advice, and answers to fix the mess that is your life, while helping you stop being a loser and start winning in business, health, and your personal life. Show us your face, tweet us your tweets, and Insta your grams @Brad Johnson Show. The Brad Johnson Show. Winners only.